Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a problem that so many people face in the classroom, teaching students how to write with confidence. We're going to dive into a program that's all about turning that confusion into clarity.
So, let's start with the big question, one I'm sure a lot of you have thought about. Why is writing so tough for so many students? You know, what's that missing piece of the puzzle that just leaves them staring at a blank page?
And here's what's so interesting about the program we're looking at. The core idea is that the problem usually isn't a lack of imagination. I mean, students have tons of great ideas, right? But what they're missing is the structure, kind of like a recipe, to put all those ingredients together into something that really works.
And this leads us right into something we can call the blank page problem. We've all been there, right? That paralyzing moment when you're told, just write an essay, but you have absolutely no map to follow. It's that anxiety you get from staring at the screen with no clue where to even begin.
Okay, so here's the big shift in thinking. The key is to give students a system they can count on. And this isn't about killing creativity, not at all. It's actually about giving them the scaffolding, the support they need to build their ideas. It just frees up all that mental energy so they can actually focus on expressing themselves.
All right, so if the problem is a lack of process, then what's the solution? Let's dive into the blueprint for writing that our source material lays out and see how it actually works.
Okay, so the program is called WriteBridge. It was actually created by an educator who wanted to build a systematic blueprint for writing. The whole goal is to make the writing process visible, teachable, and just take all the guesswork out of it for students from K all the way through 12th grade.
And listen, this wasn't some theory cooked up in a lab somewhere. Nope. This method was tested and fine-tuned right in a real classroom with real students. And the school leaders, they said it started working almost right away. It wasn't just about improving skills. It was about helping the kids see for themselves how much better they were getting, which is huge.
But how effective is it really? Let's get specific. We're going to zoom in on a case study to see the kind of impact this can have on one student's journey. So, this report follows the progress of a 7th grader. And here's a really important detail. This student was also an English language learner, which, as you can imagine, adds a whole other layer of difficulty. And the craziest part? The time frame for this change was just 3 weeks. That's it.
First up, let's talk organization. The student's writing went from being kind of loose and all over the place to something that was intentionally structured. You can see clear paragraphs, a logical flow. I mean, this is solid proof that the method was really sinking in. And then, check out the growth in their ideas, the elaboration. It went from being pretty basic and repetitive to something much richer, much more varied. The student was actually able to expand on their thoughts with more detail instead of just saying the same thing over and over. And this might be the most important part. You can literally see the student's confidence just blooming on the page. Their own unique writer's voice, which was there before but kind of held back, it just became stronger, more vivid, way more expressive.
Yeah, and this quote from the analysis really says it all. It's not just that the student got better, it's how fast it happened for a 7th grader who was also learning English at the same time. That's what makes this such a big deal from a teaching perspective.
Okay, so you might be thinking, sure, that's a great story, but was it just a fluke? Well, let's zoom out from this one student and take a look at the program's impact across an entire partner school. And wow, the data here is pretty incredible. Check this out. At one partner school, the number of students meeting the state's writing standard went from just 27% in 1 year to an amazing 92% the very next year. And that was right after they brought in WriteBridge.
Let me just put a number on that for you. That's a 240% increase. A jump like that really shows you the kind of scalable impact you can have when you give a whole school a structured, repeatable system for writing.
And it's not just about the test scores either. The feedback from the teachers who've been trained in this, it's overwhelmingly positive. I mean, look at this. You've got 97% saying it helps students, 92% agree it boosts test scores, and a massive 94% say it gets students more involved. It's safe to say the teachers are definitely on board.
So, when you see results like this, the next question is obvious. How does this program actually get to the students and teachers who need it? Let's take a look at the pathways to success.
Well, WriteBridge has different pathways and resources that are really tailored for everyone who's part of a student's education. We're talking about the students, of course, but also their families, their teachers, and even the people running the school districts.
And for any professionals out there who want to get more involved, there are some really clear ways to do that.
An educator can actually become a certified trainer and bring this method back to their own school. Or other people can become community affiliates, and they help build up a whole network of support for young writers.
So when you boil it all down, the big takeaway here is a simple but really powerful idea. Giving students a clear structure for writing isn't about stifling them or boxing them in. It's the exact opposite. It's about giving them the framework that unlocks their creativity so they can write with way more confidence, clarity, and a real sense of purpose.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Mastering a skill like this, it's about so much more than just getting better grades. It's about giving students a powerful tool for communication, for persuasion, for success that they can use for the rest of their lives. I mean, just imagine what doors that could open for them.